Okay, so we're going to start with very, very simple tables for our database. We're going to create a blank database, which we're going to create based around a school. So we're going to have pupils, we're going to have staff, and we're going to have lessons, which can start really simple. So I'm going to call my database school 2, because I've already got one called school. And it takes us straight to the table view, which we don't really want to see. So if we switch to design view, and this is going to be our pupil table. So I'm going to go TBL underscore pupils for the correct naming format. And we're presented with the design view for the table. Now, the first thing we're going to want to do is give our primary key a proper title. So this one is going to be pupil ID. I'm going to leave that as auto number just because it's going to be a very simple database. So I just want it to automatically number each one. Then very quickly, we're going to run through and put some simple field names in. So for example, first name, surname, date of birth. We're going to have the year group that the pupil is in. And I think we'll leave it at that for this, just to keep it nice and simple. So the next thing to do once we've got our field names is decide our data types. So we just work through them very slowly. First name is text, so we can leave that as it is. Surname we'll have as text as well. Date of birth, because it's going to be a date, we're going to change that one to date/time. Don't just do that though, because you won't know what format you want. So we go down to the bottom here and we can see format there. If we click there, we get a drop down arrow at the end. Open that up, and I prefer short date, but as long as it's a date, we'll be okay for now. Later on, I'll show you how we can set that to the year being quite significantly in the past. For now, it's just going to use today's date automatically. Year group is going to be from year 7 to 11, so I'm going to change that to a number because no other data is going to go in there, which sets our field size to integer automatically. But the other thing I want to do with this is I want to put a drop-down list on it, which we'll come to in a second with validation. Okay, so there's our data types. We can save that, and we've got our table. The next thing to do is some validation. Our primary key is a bit of validation that's already there. Our first name is short text, and the field size is 255, which is too long. So we're going to go down to the bottom here again. We're going to change that. 25 will be fine. It's obviously quite big still, but it's a lot smaller than 255. Same for surname. Click there, down to field size. Just in case we get somebody with a double-barreled surname, I'll set that as 40 characters. Date of birth we've already done by setting it to short date. And then the last one there is year group, which we're going to use the lookup wizard. Now this is slightly confusing because we set it to number. It looks like we're changing the data type, but we're not. We're just changing how people input into it. So we're going to go lookup wizard, which will bring this up. Now in the exam, you'll have to use the top option for one. That'll come in a later video. For this bit, we're just going to go with I will type in the values I want because we're going to specify the year groups for it. Click next, and in column 1, we're going to have year 7, and then year 8, year 9, 10, and 11. Once you're happy with that, click next. This bit here, we're going to leave the title because we've already set the field name. And the next part basically stops the user typing in a number that's not in that list, which I want for this. You may not always want to tick that, but for this case, I don't want them typing in the wrong year group. So I'm going to limit it to what's in the drop-down list. And I'm going to click finish. It will default back to number because it's still a numerical field, but it does have a drop-down list. So if I change the view, we can see the changes we've done. So we can save, and I've now got first name, surname, date of birth, which comes with a date picker, year group, which has a drop-down list. And then we would do exactly the same sort of process for the staff table and the same for the lessons table. What we would have is 3 tables here. So very quickly, you would just do it in design view and follow the same process. So it would be staff ID, for example, in this one, which would be the primary key. Notice it hasn't done it automatically, so we have to tell it. That is also going to be an auto number. and we follow the same process again. If you follow those, you should then have basic 3-table database for this little practice project.